The boxing world is buzzing with controversy as Richardson Hitchins calls out Teofimo Lopez for failing to send him a fight contract. Hitchins, undefeated and hungry for a unification bout, has made it clear he's ready to fight, but only if the offer comes with the right zeros. While Lopez has been vocal about wanting big fights, his reluctance to finalize this deal raises eyebrows. Is he looking for an easier opponent to kick off his 3-fight deal with Turki El-Sheikh? Or is he hesitant to step into the ring against a dangerous and determined Hitchins? As tensions rise, fans are left wondering whether Lopez will back up his words with action or if this will be yet another case of a top fighter dodging a real challenge. The drama between these two fighters has turned personal, with Hitchins calling out Lopez's history of backing out of fights. From Devin Haney to Subriel Matias, Lopez has repeatedly dismissed major bouts, and Hitchins is not letting him off the hook. With explosive statements on social media, Hitchins is demanding Lopez stop the excuses and send a real offer. "Ain't no contract been sent to me. What are you talking about?" Hitchins fired back, dismissing Lopez's claims of a pending deal. With the boxing world watching closely, will Lopez finally step up and prove he's the true king of the 140-pound division, or will Hitchins expose him as just another fighter dodging the smoke? Richardson Hitchins has publicly stated that Teofimo Lopez has not yet sent him an official fight offer. Despite Lopez's claims, Hitchins insists that no contract has been presented to him and that if Lopez truly wants to make the fight happen, he needs to send a contract with the right numbers. Hitchins is firm in his stance that the financial terms must be fair before he agrees to anything. This fight is supposed to be the first of 3 bouts in Lopez's newly signed deal with Turki El-Sheikh, which is expected to include high-profile opponents. The other 2 scheduled fights in this deal are against Jaron Boutsenis in October and either the winner or loser of the highly anticipated rematch between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. However, Hitchins is beginning to question whether Lopez is serious about facing him or if he is trying to find an easier opponent to start his contract on a safer note. Hitchins has speculated that Lopez might be hesitant to take on a tough opponent like him right away. He pointed out that Lopez could be looking for a softer matchup to avoid starting off his 3-fight deal with a loss. Turki El-Sheikh is known for arranging high-quality fights and expects the fighters on his cards to take on serious competition. Given this reputation, Hitchins doubts that Turki would approve of Lopez facing a lower-ranked or less challenging opponent instead of a worthy title contender. He even mentioned that Lopez previously fought Steve Claggett, implying that Lopez might be looking for a similar, less risky fight instead of stepping up to the challenge against him. If Lopez truly wants to prove himself, Hitchins believes he should take on a difficult opponent like him rather than looking for an easy way out. Responding to Lopez's recent comment online, Hitchins expressed frustration and dismissed Lopez's claims. He firmly stated that he has not received any fight offer, despite what Lopez may be saying in public. Additionally, Hitchins accused Lopez of previously rejecting a $2.8 million fight with Subriel Matias and turning down a lucrative offer to face Devin Haney. According to Hitchins, Lopez talks a lot about wanting big fights, but when negotiations actually start, he finds a way to back out. Hitchins believes this pattern shows that Lopez is not as willing to take risks as he claims. He made it clear that he has no issue stepping into the ring with Lopez, as long as the financial terms are right. If Lopez is serious, all he has to do is send the contract, and Hitchins will sign without hesitation. Hitchins also called out Lopez for what he sees as a history of avoiding tough competition. He pointed out that Lopez has acted similarly in the past when it came to fighting Matias and Haney. If Lopez decides not to face him, he will likely be forced to defend his title against the winner of the WBO eliminator between Jack Catterall and Arnold Barboza Jr. That fight would put Lopez in a position where he has no choice but to defend his belt against a strong opponent. Hitchins also suggested that Lopez might avoid potential unification fights with WBA champion Jose Rayo Valenzuela or WBC champion Alberto Puello, as those would be difficult matchups that he could potentially lose. If Lopez truly wants to prove himself as a top fighter, he cannot keep dodging these kinds of fights. Finally, Hitchins made it clear that he is not the one avoiding competition. He stated that he is willing to fight anyone at 140 pounds and demanded that Lopez stop using his name for publicity unless he is ready to send an official fight offer. Hitchins emphasized that if Lopez is serious about facing him, the only thing that matters is that the contract reflects the right financial terms. Until then, Hitchins refuses to entertain Lopez's social media talk and challenged him to back up his words with action. Hitchins demands clarity from Lopez on fight negotiations. Hitchins remains firm in his stance, refusing to entertain Lopez's online chatter until an official contract is sent his way. He believes Lopez's statements on social media are nothing more than distractions meant to keep fans engaged while avoiding serious negotiations. If Lopez is truly as confident as he claims, Hitchins insists that he should finalize the deal rather than continue making vague claims about offers. According to Hitchins, a fighter of Lopez's caliber should not need to rely on social media drama to promote a fight. Instead, he should focus on putting pen to paper and proving himself in the ring. Another issue Hitchins has raised is Lopez's history of inconsistent behavior when it comes to fight agreements. While Lopez has called out multiple fighters in the past, he has often failed to follow through with meaningful contracts. Hitchins believes this pattern is proof that Lopez is hesitant to take on real challenges unless the conditions are perfectly in his favor. He compared Lopez's approach to that of fighters who are more strategic in choosing their opponents, only accepting fights that guarantee an advantage. However, in the world of elite boxing, Hitchins argues that champions must be willing to take on all challenges, regardless of the risk involved. Hitchins also pointed out that the fans deserve a fight between two top contenders rather than watching Lopez take an easier route. With both fighters at their peak, a showdown between them would be a major event in the 140-pound division. It would be a fight that could determine the true future of the weight class and set the stage for future unification bouts. Hitchins believes that avoiding this fight would be a disservice not only to himself, but also to the sport of boxing and its loyal fans. A decisive victory over Lopez could elevate Hitchins' career to new heights, just as much as it would cement Lopez's standing if he were to win. Despite his frustrations, Hitchins remains hopeful that Lopez will step up and agree to the fight. He has made it clear that he is ready to face any top contender, and Lopez should be no exception. If Lopez truly believes in his abilities, he should be willing to fight the best, rather than prolonging negotiations with unclear statements. For now, all Hitchins can do is wait and see whether Lopez will back up his words with action. If a contract with the right terms arrives, Hitchins has promised to sign it without hesitation and prove himself as a dominant force in the division.